The Fantasy Football Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Clash of the Correspondents, the weekly show from Planet FPL, where we bring on two guests. James, who do we have on today?
We are joined today by FPL_Fitwiller on Newcastle Correspondents. Sire, how are you, mate?
I'm good. I just want to check that you don't want the camera to be facing the floor, because that's what I can currently see.
Oh, that camera's fine.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Because we've got another camera up there as well, yeah.
I moved the web.
I want to see your beautiful faces.
Yeah, go and fix the webcam.
While you
for the
introduce
boys.
our guests.
As usual, Planet FPL coming to you with maximum precision. But you're well, Sire, yeah?
I am good. Just got a cheeky 1k rank rise, a little green arrow after last night, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Good stuff. And we're also joined by, at Turfy Topper, Jack, our Burnley correspondent. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Jack, Champions League, you having a laugh, yes or no?
I'll settle for Champions League.
Good man, yourself. This is a remarkable turnaround in form for you, mate, because I think after the Chelsea defeat, we were a bit worried.
Yeah, I think everyone was.
And now, no jokes, you're, 6 points off Chelsea, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, it might be 7, actually. But
Yeah.
you're actually in there with that pack, and it's,
We don't do these often enough, because I think last time it was like, oh, we're getting relegated. First time it was, oh, settle for mid-table, and then no, it's like we're going for Champions League.
Well, what would you settle for now? I know we kind of part in jets, but is it at all possible?
Well, Europa League stretches down to, is it 8th place, depending on who wins the cup, so
Yeah.
that's the ultimate aim, I would say, but, surely we're safe now, we can't go down now, so...
You're not getting relegated, that's for sure. There's too many teams so much worse. It's interesting you talk about Champions League. You made me laugh. You reminded me yesterday, right? So got home and my 7-year-old was still awake. So I thought, okay, go on then. I'm going to let you watch the first 10 minutes of the match. So in the build-up to it, he said, Dad, show me the table. Are we still 16th or 17th? I was like, we're 18th now. And he goes, Liverpool were top last time I saw the table. I said, yep, they're still top and they're going to beat us. So he looked at me and he goes, oh, well, Champions League, here we come. You mean championship? Here we come. And he's like, oh, is that what it's called? But yes, son, it's not the Champions League.
We're
Championship,
pre-recording on Tuesday morning. I think Suj is still feeling a little bit of pain and a little bit of sweat.
Didn't expect anything, so maybe not. But I do have jealousy about Champions League aspirations.
Yeah, well, we're 3 points behind Sheffield United. And we've got them to play, and I think we've got Brighton to play as well, a few others around us, so a couple of wins against the right teams.
Got us to play first.
That's the point, though, isn't it? Like, I don't know, they're the form team. One of the things I've spoken about in terms of trying to qualify for Europe now is its consistency. We'll get anybody there. And Burnley have been more consistent than anybody over the last 5 game weeks.
Yeah, since the start of the year, for sure.
In terms of the way they're managed, probably the team spirit within the club. I don't know. I wouldn't. I'd actually, yeah. I'm gonna rule it out, but I think it's possible. Would the club, do you think, want to be in Europe again, Jack, or is there any from the previous one and then the way you started that season? Is there any we could do without this? What's kind of the feeling amongst the fans?
I think it's mixed, to be honest, with Europe. I think everyone would obviously take the Champions League, but Europe's a bit like, I personally really wanted us to progress as far as we could, because I don't see the point in us just existing in the Premier League to go, oh, we'll go to Europe and then give it a miss. We're not going to really finish any higher than Europe ever, so I want us to really give it a good go, but I think some fans are like, oh, I'd rather us just settle on Premier League safety year after year rather than risk us having a bad season. But we don't have the squad depth to be able to play 2 full-strength teams all the time, so...
When you say that, Wood, Barnes, Rodriguez, Vidra...
Yeah, when they're all...
You've got 4 forwards. My team ain't got 1 at the moment, mate.
Yeah, I guess so.
Si, you're in the middle of, I would say, a very decent fixture run. Do you feel safe at the moment?
No, not the way we're playing at the moment.
Can't score
Okay,
goals.
so is that the issue? Scoring goals, basically.
Yeah, it's been the issue all season. I mean, I could ring off some stats for you that I saw on Twitter the other day. Just shows like where we should be in the table.
Please do.
So we scored.
Goals scored 24. That's 19th in the Premier League. XG, I don't really understand how that works, but it's 21.2, 20th. Shots 247. That's 20th. Opposition box touches 370, 20th. And possession 34.3%, which is actually higher than I thought it was going to be, but is also 20th in the league.
So
it's frightening. 34% up, 40%. It's higher than I
thought.
Every time I've seen them play, it's been around 20-25%. I don't know where that's shot up from, but it just kind of shows where we should be in the league, and we're lucky. I think we talked about this last time I was on. We're lucky to be where we are in the table, and that there are teams that just can't put a string of results together below us.
I think Dubravka's up there for most saves by a goalkeeper as well, right, at the moment.
Yeah.
You said that. Goals conceded, I don't think Newcastle would be. I'd be interested to know goals conceded where Newcastle would be in the table, but that's the reason why you are where you are. You don't concede as many as clubs like West Ham and Watford and Norwich especially have been as well.
Yeah, true. I mean, our goal difference is still minus 17, so that's
worse than ours, I think.
Yeah, well, yours is minus 16. I'm just looking at it.
Only one goal in it, but it's still better. I'll take the victories that I can get right now. And if it's a one goal difference over Newcastle, it's as good as it gets.
But I mean, we've said it all along. This is our run next couple of games where we've got to pick up some points. But it's also looking at how the team's playing. I think everyone's starting to lose a bit of faith that Steve Bruce can magic these results out of his arse. And I don't know where the next win's going to come from, to be honest. I can't really see us beating Burnley at the weekend the way that they're playing.
Do you think if you were in this position and Benitez was still in charge, the mood would be a lot better? I.e., is Bruce getting a little bit of unfair criticism because he's Steve Bruce?
It depends what sort of mood you're talking about. The mood would be worse in terms of, I think the fans would be on Mike Ashley more. It wouldn't be on Benitez. If you look at the transfer dealings and the fact that what we did in January was a couple of loan signings, like under Benitez, I don't think he'd have stood for that again for another transfer window. But it's almost like the apathy that's crept in. That's all we did in January, knowing that we couldn't score any goals, and we signed a left back and a right back and a central midfielder, and that was it. And no one barely kicked up a stink. I think it's just apathy's running throughout the club. Seems like the club's happy to just circle the drain. And Jack talked about not wanting to just be content with staying in the Premier League. That's basically us this season, last season, be the same next season as well, I think.
It's not helped by the fact that he did spend big money on a forward and he can't hit a barn door, mate.
Yeah, but there's a few of us that did that.
Yeah.
It was funny at the live show side, we were debating who's worse out of Joel Linton, Wesley and Haller. I think the unanimous was Joel Linton actually is the worst of the three so far this season.
Yeah. I don't know whether they've all got the same agent or not.
we was discussing on the way in about 40 million being the new 4 million, basically. Yeah. It doesn't even guarantee you're a player anymore, basically.
Bad.
No.
But it just speaks to whoever's making these transfer decisions and not thinking about what the squad needs and what kind of player they need for that system.
Well, it's interesting that. I'm interested to get your thoughts on the new guys that come in, because I'm not sure it was it's good for you to have greater depth. I'm not sure it was as big a problem as what's been made out positionally wise. Are you happy with the new signings?
Well, I mean, I think Danny Rose is a known commodity in the Premier League. If he can stay fit, he'll do a job there. I think he was a good addition. We did have a couple of injuries to left back, which I think we did need a sign in there. I don't know why we brought the right back in. Maybe just shows Bruce wasn't happy with Kraft, who was a summer signing, who's just shit and I don't know. I don't know where we picked him up from, but he was actually a £4 million signing. But everyone knew where the problem was up front, and we just weren't willing to pay the silly money it takes to get a decent player on loan for 6 months.
So what was the issue with Manquillo and Yedlin? Because that was the one that really surprised me. You mentioned Kraft, who'd played in that position at Spurs early in the season. Manquillo's not had much for looking. Obviously, Yedlin's there as well. It's just a case of none of them good enough, or?
I'll check. I think Manquillo's currently injured because I think Bruce quite likes him. Let me have a look, see if he's injured or not. Yedlin
listed as a hamstring injury at the moment.
Yeah, Yedlin's just he's been out of form for all season. I don't think Bruce likes having necessarily two wing backs that are that attacking. And then also you've got.
I was going to say, Si, you missed a golden opportunity there in how to describe DeAndre Yedlin, mate.
Oh, what, the crapid?
Crapid.
I don't even know if he's crapid anymore. I haven't seen him play for so long.
Oh, no.
He's lost his pace. He's just crap. No, he's quick as Yedlin. What are you making of Bentaleb?
It feels like I'm coming on saying the same thing I was 3 months ago. It's just been. I can't tell you how bad it's been watching us play this season.
You can. I'm watching Spurs as well, mate. Talk to me about Bentaleb, Si, briefly. What do you make so far? I struggled at Arsenal, I thought.
Yeah, I don't think we've got the right combination in central midfield. I think at the moment he's playing in with Longstaff. I just don't know. I don't know who his best partner would be. I think he'll definitely get some time with Shelvey when Shelvey comes back. I don't know if that will work better. It's just, again, it wasn't necessarily an area that we needed to strengthen. He's not added anything to the team, from what I can see so far.
No, I think it's another one. Like, there are loads of bodies in there with the two Longstaffs, Shelvey, or the Keys have been injured or out of favour. Isaac Hayden, obviously, as well, still knocking about in a lot of FPL teams. So I feel like there is some depth there, but you never quite really know what Newcastle's strongest 11 is. When Si was on Last of Us, we spoke about the depth at centre-half as well. Like, there are loads of centre-halves there.
Plenty.
It's quality.
Well, you've got one missing for a few weeks in Lazaro after he auditioned for Eddie Jones's England rugby team. I think he wanted to get some Six Nations action.
You only get one game ban for that.
Will he only get the one, will he?
Yeah, I think so.
I think if he did it in rugby, it might have even been a foul. That's how bad he was.
Jack, on our main podcast on Monday night, we talked about your game a little bit, and unfortunately, I knew you was coming on, and VAR kind of overtook things. I do want to ask you about VAR a little bit, but there was a player that we intentionally didn't talk about because I really wanted to leave this to you. It's been a bit of a running joke for us for quite a while about Dwight McNeill, where we just go, like him, too much, like him, too much. Is he at the point now where, from an FPL perspective, we really should be considering him at 6 million, 92 FPL points scored so far?
He's a tough one because it sort of depends on. We've been a bit up and down, haven't we, the last couple of seasons? So he definitely makes things tick, and left side of midfield's definitely our strongest, especially with Charlie Taylor coming down the left as well. He sort of lacked goals about his game a little bit recently, so for him to chip in again last week makes you think, can he, sort of do it consistently? It was just a cracking goal as well. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Brilliant, and he should have had another one as well.
Yeah, hit the post, didn't he? Yeah, I mean, if I was to have a midfielder from Burnley, it would definitely be him. But I think at the start of the season, it was just the price that put a lot of people off, compared to a couple of Bournemouth and a few other similar teams where you was like, oh, I'd rather have them for the assist sort of thing. But yeah, I think he definitely looks a lot more mature back half of this season. So I reckon, I think next season will probably be his last for us potentially if he keeps it up like that.
It's amazing to look through his numbers and see that those from Saturday against Bournemouth, his first attacking returns since an assist against West Ham in game week 12.
Okay, that's a while ago.
Yeah, and he started every one of those games in between.
Yep.
That's a really, really surprising number. The thing that I noticed Saturday was, I think you'll get labelled, Jack, as a club in terms of words like functional in terms of rigid system, etc. But it was really interesting for me to see McNeill go wandering during that second half on Saturday.
Yeah.
The positions he was picking up were not
Left wing.
typical Dwight McNeill positions in terms of how much he was wandering around the pitch. There was a little bit of someone I used to watch at Spurs in terms of some of his movement and the way he was driving with the ball late in the game. I'm not going to make that silly comparison about running strides again, but he is a big talent, I think. He's got a mad number of assists for his age. He's still only 20, is that right, Jack?
Maybe even younger. I think he might only be 19. But yeah, 19, 20, something like that.
He's a talent. I mean, the cross that he put in for... Was it Vidra missed the chance when Ramsdale saved it? I'd say that's probably the best cross I've seen all season. Frightening. That's a serious talent.
I know Trent's ball yesterday, the way he had to whip it round.
When you do crosses, you don't mention Trent. It's not.
Okay, he's in another league.
That's correct, yeah. It doesn't count. You're talking about a 10 million FPL defender next season, right? It just doesn't count. No, I think McNeill is a special talent. I think Jack's right to be honest and say, yeah, he's probably not going to be at Burnley for the next 10 years of his career. I think there's a definite... He is English, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely an English
I
player.
think whilst Vidra's in the team, I think that's why he went wandering a lot more. Whilst we have the two big men, Wood and Barnes, in the box, he'll stay out wide and just get the crosses in. Whereas on Saturday...
That's really interesting.
You think, Vidra plays off the shoulder a little bit more, so if McNeill cuts in, Vidra will go out wide or whatever, and it just gives... That allowed McNeill the space a bit more to have the shot and...
Okay, so you think because of Vidra, perhaps a little bit more fluidity in terms of formation?
Yeah, definitely. Otherwise, it would have just been keep him out wide, pump the balls into the box. Wood will win 1 in every 2 headers or whatever. So,
I like that. That's a good spot. That's something to be aware of because obviously the returns McNeill's got there, obviously particularly within the goal and obviously the shot he had that hit the post, came from central positions. Yep. So if we're saying Wood and Barnes would still be the favoured when they're available and fit, then that lessens McNeill's appeal. I think
we've got a better run of fixtures now than we had.
Well, yeah, that's the point as well, because actually your fixture run between now and the end of the season, having looked through this really tough period, looks great. I mean, you would say on paper, the hardest home games you've got left are Tottenham and Wolves. Yeah, you've still got to go to Man City and Liverpool. Every other fixture looks completely winnable. You've got Sheffield United at home as well, in fairness.
Yeah. To say we've got through the fixtures we have recently, against United, beat United, took a point off Arsenal, beat Leicester. It was just
a great.
That's what you should have beat Arsenal as well.
Yeah, definitely.
With the chance of Rodriguez hit the bar, do you think there's a chance Jack Vidra will stay in the team?
Yeah, I think if Wood would have been back fit this week, he would have been straight back out. But with the way Daesh runs his squad, if someone's in and nails down the shirt, then it's his to lose sort of thing.
Yeah, we've spoken about this with you so many times in terms of if someone's in and they've got the reward,
they'll stay in.
They'll keep the shirt. I think
it's like with Bed Gibson's thrown his toes out the pram and gone off training with
Middlesbrough.
Yeah,
I saw that. Such a strange one.
Yeah, but I think Ben Mee and Tarkowski have played something like 52 games consecutively together now, so why would you change it sort of thing?
Yeah. Just to go back to McNeill very briefly, in terms of FPL asset, it's interesting to look and see Ashley Westwood 5 less FPL points for 0.6 million cheaper this season. Westwood's on, what was we said, it was 8 attacking returns, wasn't it? 6 of them assists.
I would feel like Ashley Westwood's played less minutes than McNeill as well this season.
No, I would think they've...
No, I think he's played probably similar.
I didn't know if Westwood had a spell out with
Westwood
injury.
Missed 3 games, 14 to 16. Other than that, he's played 90 minutes every game.
Dwight McNeill's played all of them.
I think Westwood's the same price as Saint-Maximin. He
difference.
scored twice as many points, FPL points as him.
That's a brilliant shout, Si. Can we be considering Saint-Maximin? Go on. Didn't you stick him in?
I've got him in my team.
Right, what possessed you to do it?
Well, to be honest, when I was thinking of getting him in, I was kind of having a bit of what I thought was a bit of a middling season in FPL. I was about 250k, and then I've been doing quite well recently. I'm up to about 60k. Not because of him. He's been in my team for about 4 weeks now. He's at the post a couple of times, but I don't know. You get to that point in the season where you just want like one little spot on your team which you can just do something that's a bit bit rogue, or if he scores, it's going to be worth the same points as any other midfielder. It would just feel, I don't know, I'll get more enjoyment out of it, and I like watching him play. It's the only thing I like watching about Newcastle is him. Like Almiron works hard, but he's frustrating to watch because you just know his end product's going to be nowhere there. But with Saint-Maximin, he's just pure entertainment.
Yeah, it's looking Westwood 3.6 points per appearance. Actually, he's very decent at that value. And
Just got one from a corner though. For Danny Ings just gifted it to him.
Listen, it's 2 seasons in a row, Jack. He had the one at Liverpool last year as well, didn't he? So, obviously not a fluke. And you obviously maximise your potential from set pieces a lot more than others do. I think when you look at it per corner, for example, you'll be right up there in terms of your returns of these. That back post corner seems to catch teams out so much.
Yeah.
And you'll always be a threat from set pieces. Can I ask, Jack, obviously game week 31 you're definitely playing. Now, whatever strategy people are on, there's going to be some target in Burnley with a fixture at home to Watford that day. If you had to pick 3 for that day, who would they be?
Pope, Taylor, McNeill, I would say.
Interesting. So not Westwood.
No.
And you wouldn't be tempted by any of the forwards if Wood was back fit, or?
It's a bit of a risk, just because. Well, how far off are we now? 2 game weeks?
3.5 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks or so.
I'd say Rodriguez is probably the only one that you would say is probably the safest, but even he could still drop out.
I feel like Jay Rodriguez is playing all right at the moment, personally.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's another one he'll stay in the team at the moment.
Yeah. I think it probably still will be Vidra and Rodriguez until there's either an injury or something needs changing up. But
So, Si, same question to you, because obviously we hope you beat West Brom in the Cup next week, but should you not, Aston Villa at home, game week 31.
I was wondering if you were going to ask me this. I can't pick.
Pick
There's
3 Geordies.
There's not 3 players that I would pick from Newcastle.
There's got to be, mate.
I'd pick
Dubravka?
Saint-Maximin.
Yeah.
You just think Villa are probably going to score.
But then
in that
Dubravka
game.
might be good for save points. He does make a lot of saves, like we've talked about before. So
Yeah, maybe.
over Pope, probably not though.
I still think Lascelles will get one, maybe 2. If we continue to be this bad at scoring goals, the defenders are going to have to pick it up again. But he's not even playing Shah at the moment. I don't.
What's all that about? Because you think he's probably the best one, really.
Yeah, well, he just picked up North East Player of the Year, and he's not even in the team at the moment, really.
Did you think they were going to pick a Middlesbrough or Sunderland player?
I think that's very, very true. He is our best player. I think our best team. To be fair, he did play against Palace, but he's in our best back 3. I think Bruce just does a similar thing to Dyche, where he goes with the players that have done him well for the last couple of games. And I'd imagine he's back in the team now, and should be definitely back in the team, because he adds an attacking threat that we don't have for about 3/4 of the rest of our team.
I think that should Newcastle play in 31, 3 hitters, a lot of them will have Saint-Maximin, and I think a lot
so.
will. I think
He's fun. What's the point? What's the point playing the game if you don't
enjoy it?
Yeah, and I think a lot will end up with Lascelles as well. One of the interesting one for 3 hitters, let's say we end up with 4 fixtures, the 2 of you, Wolves, Bournemouth and Norwich Everton, for example. You're going to struggle to spend all the money, so you don't necessarily have to cut corners.
Yep.
So that's why perhaps Dubravka on the free hit would maybe interest, I don't know. And then you don't really actually need to cut corners on, say, a Charlie Taylor. You can go Tarkowski if you want, for example.
I mean, Charlie Taylor carries maybe more of an attacking threat down the wing.
Well, Charlie Taylor, we've said this so many times with Jack in the past. If he gets in, he'll stay in. It's only been injuries at the start of the season is why Eric Peters had that run. Taylor's by far the better player, and I think he is improving constantly offensively. I don't think we're not looking at him as necessarily attacking fullback that we expect attacking returns for, but it was his through ball for Vidra in the first half at the weekend. He has got a nice left peg, and he will have the odd 1 or 2 assists during the course of the season. But it's just interesting the concept idea that you don't need to cut the funds. Like, would you, for example, consider maybe rather than going Lascelles, would you go Danny Rose?
Maybe.
Because there's potentially more out of it, for example. I don't know. It'd be interesting how people manage that.
Is everyone definitely playing the free hit in 31 still?
No, I'm
Or
not.
I think a lot of people are going to try not to use it in game week 31, depending on all of the next week's midweek shenanigans. It's
Is that when it is? So next
FA Cup
after next week? Is that the FA Cup
from Monday
round?
onwards.
I'm banking Si on West Brom beating you. and then I've got Lascelles and Grealish, and I just feel like there's no way I'll do it then.
That and Chelsea beating Liverpool would be the icing on the cake, wouldn't it? Really?
If Chelsea beat Liverpool, there's no way.
I think very few people will free hit because Liverpool become available, and then we all carry 3 of their players anyway.
I have potentially a very interesting selection dilemma this weekend, lads. I am probably picking one of Jamal Lascelles and Charlie Taylor to play this weekend. So I'll ask you first, which one should I play?
I don't know. Play both. It's going to be 0-0.
Oh, I don't
Jack,
know about 0-0.
same question.
I've got to go Charlie Taylor now with the run we've been on.
Good lad.
Yeah,
you
fair.
see the difference in the confidence between the two lads, the way their teams are playing at the moment.
It's got to be Charlie Taylor, surely.
See, we're talking like this though. We're 6 points in front of Newcastle, and that's just literally beating United and Leicester. But like Newcastle fans go, like, would you rather be Norwich? Because they play brilliant football, but look at the state of them.
I think brilliant's an exaggeration.
Am I right in saying, Jack, there's a bit of a theme amongst the supporters at the moment because you kind of get tagged with this Burnley football, if you want, whatever that is. I mean, you see the way Dwight McNeill runs with a ball. There's nothing boring about it. Is that a major frustration up there, or do you kind of revel in the fact that's what people think? Oh, that's how Burnley play.
We play up to it. I think it was when David Luiz said the other season when we drew against Chelsea, and he came out in an interview and said, "Oh, Burnley are anti-football, so we now sing anti-football like at games and stuff just to wind the opposition up." But we had it under Eddie Howe where we were playing brilliant football, but we were like, I remember I came back from uni once, Charlie Aston scored a hat-trick and we drew 3-3. You know, it's like, do you really want to be turning up to games and just throwing them away? Whereas at least with Dyche, you know that like you get to half-time, 0-0, see the game out, snatch a last-minute winner or whatever.
I'd take 3-3 at this point. I can't watch Newcastle play football for another season. I can't do it. It's so bad.
So
this is going to be the worst game. Burnley Newcastle. I can't remember a decent match between the two of us. It's always been 1-0. That I can remember.
Definitely going to be 5-4 now.
It ain't going to be 5-4, Jack. It's interesting, though. You and I sitting here, Tottenham, West Ham, Newcastle on. Which one of the four of us is playing the best football at the moment? It's Burnley.
Yeah.
There isn't an argument.
No.
So you do get labelled with a tag. But then you do things, Jack, don't you? What was this old grass thing when you played Arsenal?
Oh, yeah.
That's shithousery, isn't it?
I don't even know if that's true, to be honest, because it has to be a certain length anyway.
Rumour, I didn't hear it.
There was
they let it grow extra long.
So yeah, apparently they have to grass long against Arsenal, which is not that uncommon for, with respect, sides who are lower down in the league to play one of the so-called big six and just leave the grass to grow. But Burnley changed their profile admin picture the next day to like a guy cutting the pitch.
Oh really?
It's because they did it though. Arsenal would change theirs to a load of grass, which was just weird.
Yeah, that's.
It's like when you used to play Stoke, though. Everyone would move the advertising boards forward when Delap was playing. It's just
cracking that, and Delap just used to move them out the way. He struggle with the old flashy electronic ones now. I like to see him get over one of them. But yeah, people used to play against Stoke and bring the advertising audience forward. It's so true.
We talked about predictions for the weekend, and Si, you're going for a 0-0, are you? Are you thinking it's going to be that dull?
I'm getting Lascelles in. I've got Pope as my backup keeper. It's going to be 0-0. It's going to be glorious.
What are you thinking, Jack, in terms of predictions?
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-0.
1-0. I think 2-0 Burnley.
1-0 to who?
To Burnley, obviously.
I think Burnley's current form, Newcastle, a bit in the doldrums or just in the middle of nowhere. 2-0 Burnley. Maybe 2-1, but
was that
2-1. I'm going to get
Saint
Saint-Maximin a goal just for you, so I'm going to predict a Saint-Maximin goal, but I think 2-1.
To be honest, I'll take that. Just a little bit of joy in my life.
2-1 with a Saint-Maximin goal.
Yeah.
I think as someone who owns Lascelles and Taylor, and I might actually end up playing both, this is 1-1.
No clean sheet coming for you for either of them.
It actually smells like a 1-0 Newcastle to me, a little bit. I don't know. It's just the sort
If
of
we
one
get the
I
first
think-
goal, that's what we've been saying. I've been saying all season. We get a first goal in a game. We've got the players that can hang on to that result.
Yeah, I mean, probably for you more than anybody else in the league side, I'd say like first goal is always so critical for you. You don't see Newcastle pulling back games. It's not like, you know, they can be 2-0 down at Everton in the 94th minute and get a draw or anything like that.
Definitely not. There we go. This is going to be an interesting one. I think a lot of people might be interested in listening back to this once we've seen the FA Cup and if Newcastle become available and what have you in game week 31. But yeah, both of you guys are well clear of me, so I'm going to be watching as a real neutral this week. Whatever it is.
I'm obviously hoping Newcastle win somewhere about Burnley catching us.
The Champions League. Guys, thanks for all of your support with Planet FPL stuff, all of the articles and interaction on Twitter and what have you. We appreciate all of it. And for joining us this morning as well. I mean, we're pre-recording.
So you're off on your travels, is that right?
Yeah, middle of next month, mate.
Nice.
Which
How long you wait for?
will also mean I won't have Newcastle as a client, so I can start telling you what I really think.
We look forward to that, mate.
Nice.
Yeah, off to the
Excellent.
States. Should be fun.
Good. Enjoy yourself. Safe travels, mate.
Cheers, guys.
What do we have left this week, James?
Final plan tomorrow. Live stream from me on YouTube tomorrow afternoon, and then weekend, and then probably more suffering from me next Monday morning.
There we go. Thank you, everybody who's tuned into all the episodes we've put out this week. Do hit like on the videos and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed wherever you're catching all of your podcasts. All of those make us feel happy. Other than that, ciao for now.
Thanks very much, gents. Good luck this weekend. Cue music, man-child.
The Fantasy Football Show.